In the meantime, I've got a story for you about a young California guy who does extraordinary things with homemade marshmallows. Marshmallows. He may look cool and composed, standing over that bubbling cauldron, but don't be deceived.
It's frantic.
The holiday season means that Pete Croyle, owner of Pete's Gourmet Confections, is busy. Very, very busy.
We get orders and orders and orders every day, and in order to meet them, we're like running and working double shifts. It's like a mountain of marshmallows.
Marshmallows that are whipped, dipped, glazed, and shipped all over North America from Pete's Cozy Kitchen. Not bad for a guy who got into the sweets biz by accident.
I was a prop maker foreman in the movie industry, and it was during the holiday times, and we were trying to figure out what to do for a holiday gift. And I came up with this idea of making marshmallows.
The holiday treats, from a recipe by his grandmother, were a huge hit on the set of the movie where Pete was working.
And the movie was Legally Blonde too, and everybody went nuts for him. They started asking me, hey, where can I get them? Can I buy them? You know, it was like just something that like became a, I don't know, the marshmallow movement.
Pete began spending more time in the kitchen.
I was being, called the Marshmallow King, my marshmallow kingdom, and I just kept bringing more and more in.
Which delighted everyone on the set of Legally Blonde 2, except for one very important guy.
And my boss said, I'm going to have to fire you because of this marshmallow thing. You're going to have to put this on the back burner.
Instead, Pete headed straight for the front burner, quitting his day job and pursuing his passion. One day, he took some of his creations to a family gathering.
And I went bananas.
Sherry Levy is Pete's cousin.
I had never seen anything like it, tasted anything like it in my life. And my, marketing background kicked in, and I said, Peter, you've got to market these.
The first step in that process was to start calling the treats mallows.
We call them mallows because they're not a marshmallow.
You just absolutely couldn't put the name marshmallow to this type of product. It just didn't do it justice.
You buy marshmallows at a grocery store, and they come in a big bag, and they last for 500 years. And they never go bad because they have additives and preservatives in them, and ours don't. The basic ingredients are sugar, water, some corn syrup, and you make a base syrup, a simple syrup, and you bring it to a specific temperature.
A scalding 240 degrees, exactly.
And one of our most important tools is the candy thermometer. The temperature is the most important thing, because either it turns to taffy or it turns into a nice fluffy cloud of mallow.
The fluffy cloud of molten mallow is then poured into a mixer. That plastic cover prevents it from splattering.
If it whips out of the mixer and lands on you, it really burns, and it keeps burning. And that's one hazard of candy, is that a candy burn is probably the worst burn you can get.
After 10 minutes in the mixer, it's time for the next step.
We'll take it out of the mixer, and we'll pour it into a pan where it has to cool.
The cooling process can take as long as 12 hours before the final stage here in the kitchen.
We hand score all the mallows into squares, and then we'll either cover them in caramels or dip them in a variety of colors of white chocolates or dark chocolates, so that you have a good variety.
All of which tastes just terrific with another of Pete's products, Grandma's Cocoa.
We use the finest ingredients, obviously. Ultra-fine sugar. We have a super nice Dutch cocoa, crystallized vanilla, a secret spice mix that my grandma came up with, and chocolate shavings to top it all off.
Everybody wants to bring our hot cocoa and our mallows with them on ski season. It's been a really big seller for us.
Speaking of selling, the final tantalizing touch is in the packaging.
We have over 32 unique basket and jar creations, which really, I must say, are absolutely one of our best-selling items because they're so unique, and it's a jar that you can fill time and time again.
Jars are being filled with these tasty treats, and so are plenty of mouths.
It's great. I would buy a whole tray of these.
I'm a chocolate person, so I love good chocolate, and this is It's really delicious.
Come on, we gotta try this one.
Actually, let's switch. I'd like to try that one. Thanks.
Whoa.
There are currently over 30 varieties of mallows on the menu for Pete's Gourmet Confections. And with this guy in the kitchen,
Magic elf dust we use for our peppermint stick crunch mallows for the holidays.
any delicious concoction is possible. If you'd like to know how you can order any of the food finds we've seen on our holiday gift special, and for the latest contact information, log on to our website, foodnetwork.com, or you can call the vendors directly. For one-of-a-kind holiday gift, pick a mallow, as in Pete's Gourmet Confections mallows. They can be reached at 866-857-3837.